Alright, testing mic, testing movement. Please confirm any sound. Okay, so mic and game sound are now both audible. Just double checking before I continue. Okay, good. Then I'll start now. Hello everyone, this is Gundam Ace, aka John Hooper. I'm here with my streaming of Secret Game Killer Queen. In the last stream, Soichi and Reika made up to the second floor, only to be attacked by Karin since Reika attacked her on the Reika attacked her earlier, and so now she doesn't trust them at all. And once they realized they weren't able to reason with her, they fled into the air ducts and traveled in them for a little while until they met up with Hazuki and Reika, who are Hazuki and Nagisa, who are now teamed up together. They discussed what's going on, and Hazuki revealed that at least 2 other players have died because he has a survivor counter, and that's what it says. And that he wants Soichi and Reika to stay handcuffed so they can be able to remove their collar, so eventually he'll be able to remove his own as well. And because we didn't have our active participants in the stream game last time, I decided to make the start of the stream the opportunity for our active participants in order to both bet on the number of survivors and for both bet on the survivors and for one person used the bet system. So I went back to the scene where the survivors or the deaths were revealed. So now you have the chance to bet. Here's the current tallies on the bet system. As you can see, they it's perpetually loading. Going through all the characters. So as you can see, based on the odds right now, Takayama is currently the one with the highest odds of winning at 2.4. Meanwhile, both Soichi and Reika are at the lowest odds of winning at 9.7. What this means is basically you multiply it by the number of chips we bet by the odds multiplier there. So if you get it right, you'll win that many chips plus the multiplier over there. So yeah, I'll just go over who we've seen so far. As we know, we have Soichi, obviously. Sakumi died near the start. We're teaming up with Nagisa right now. We're teaming up with Reika. Karin is seemingly alive. Well, is alive. Yeah, she's alive because when Hazuki got the counter at during the evening, and that was when during the evening, and by then they already dropped 2, so 2 people had already died by then. So yeah, Karin's still alive, but she's attacking us and she seems hostile. We have not seen Fumika so far. We have not seen Takayama yet so far either. Nagasawa is still alive. He is because he was also alive when Hazuki picked up the counter, and he was attacking Reika and Soichi at the time. We are teaming with Hazuki right now. Goda we haven't seen since the beginning, so she could be possibly dead. Same with Urushiyama, and Tezuka was alive at that time too. So yeah. Okay, so you're back, Ravis. Can you hear now? Is everything working? Okay then, so recap, now's the time to make your bets, and I'll let one of you use the bet system, if you want to. I just went over who's still alive and who's unconfirmed. Well, they kind of went over it last episode, but basically, the ones, I'll just go with the ones that are not confirmed alive. The mystery girl, Fumika, Takayama, Goda, and Urashiyama. The rest of them are all confirmed alive at this point. Just scrolling around just to give people in the archives version something to look at while I'm doing. So let's go over the characters. Yes. One of you can use the bet system in game, but both of you can make bets for the stream game. No. Wait, hold on a second. For the bet system in game, yes. But for the stream game, no. Bet on everyone you think will survive. And you can. Here's how it works. I can bet on. Let's just say hypothetically, I bet on Reika all 100 chips. I can only bet those 100 chips on her. I can take them back at some point, though, if I want to change my bet later. But it should be noted that the best opportunity to strike for a bet is when the odds are low, or well, technically, yeah, when the odds are low, because the ones with the higher multipliers here, like lower multipliers here, like Takayama, if he survives, you won't get as many chips as you would if you bet on someone like. Yeah, no, you can't spread bet. You can only bet on one person. But just to confirm, you can bet. The person who uses the bet system is still allowed to make bets in the stream game as well. So I'll let you guys decide here first. I'll let Ravis come to the decision where he wants to use the bet system or not first. In the meantime, I recommend you, anyone else who's waiting, just start drafting up your list of survivors for the stream game in this meantime. Okay. Those are the odds multiplier, Ravis. I'll explain how it works. Okay, so at this point in time, throughout the route as it progresses. Oh, you want him to use it? Okay, sure. Well, I'll explain how it works. How it works is that during the game, these odds vary depending on the danger the characters are in. So let's say right now I was going to bet on Soichi survival, and I put all 100 chips on him. If he survives the route, then that would give me 100 times 9.7 chips. So as you can see, that would be, I would win 970 chips if we bet all 100 on Soichi at this point, and he were to survive to the end of the route. Yes, a higher number of odds, a better payout, because higher odds means that they're not as less likely to survive. Meanwhile, people with lower odds like Takayama, Goda, and Tezuka are more likely to survive. Okay, you want to bet all 100 on Reika? Okay, just final confirmation. Is that how you want? You want to bet like this? Okay. Okay, and we're done with the bet, but I'll let you guys do the stream betting now. I'll let you guys come up with your stream bets. I'll record them for later. Yes, verbal bets now. Remember, bet on every single survivor you think will make it to the end. Yes, you can just make a list. Like, I can just say something like, hold on, I'm about to type something in the chat. Like, so if you did this kind of bet like I did in the chat here, that means these are the 3 you think will survive. In this case, I put Urashiyama, Tezuka, and Nagasawa. That's just an example. For anyone who's watching the archive version doesn't see what's on the chat. So, like, you just say the names of the people you think will survive. And, if these people survive, you get 1 point for every survivor who makes it to the end. You lose a point for every bet you make that doesn't make it to the end. And if you guess every single survivor in this route correctly, you'll get double points at the end. So if Urashiyama, Tezuka, and Nagasawa survived and you had bet on those 3 and those 3 alone, you get 6 points instead of 3. Meanwhile, if Urashiyama dies but Tezuka and Nagasawa live, you get 1 point because you were correct on Tezuka and Nagasawa, so you get 2 points for them, but you lose a point for Urashiyama since he died. That's how it works. If you want to discuss your reasonings after you make your list, you're welcome to. But I just recommend making your bets first, and if you want to talk about your reasonings after, just do that, so I will continue with the game while you do that. And let's just go over the PDA rules for other people while waiting. Okay, and I'm just going to re-summarize everyone's release conditions if you need a reminder. Soichi's is to kill the owner of the Queen PDA, but as you know, his PDA is broken. However, he has been given an additional chance to survive if he and Reiko stay handcuffed for 48 hours, I believe it was. And Nagisa's is to be together with someone for 24 hours. And that person is still alive at the 71-hour mark. Reika needs to destroy 5 PDAs within 5 meters of her own PDA, not including the Joker. And if she destroys 6 or more, then she fails. We don't know what the mystery girl's condition is. Karin's PDA is still a mystery. Fumika's is listed as a mystery here, but we know that she has a 6, which means the Joker needs to be used 5 times. Takayama is also listed as a mystery, but we know that it's to destroy the Joker. Nagasawa's is the not sure if they did say his. I think they did, though, to kill 3 people. Hazuki's the 4, which means he needs 3 collars on his own. Goda's is a mystery. I don't think we learned it in the last read either, so that's still a mystery. Urashiyama is still a mystery, I believe. And Tezuka has the 10, which requires the activation of 5 collars. It appears that... Okay. Okay, that's 1 bet. I'll keep that on file for Alright, I'm going to... Alright, we have the bets now, so I'm going to record them both. Just 1 second. Okay, the bets have been made. Now we will continue on with the game. Fortunately, as per Route Double, we can just jump to the next on red line, so we can go through this. Although I do have to... Although the next on red line was after 2 lines I haven't said yet, so... Here we go. Soichi checked his watch as he and the rest of the group walked down the hallway. They were moving because they didn't have much time. It was already late in the night. So if they didn't start moving now, their collars would be activated by the time morning came. They need to get up a floor before they could rest. And then right before Soichi's eyes, the hands on his watch pointing to midnight. This marked the beginning of the 3rd day they've been trapped in this building. It's been 38 days since it began. 38. No, it's been 38 hours since it began. They've been out for about half. They've been out for a day since the first day, so that was 14 hours. And there was 24 hours in the 2nd day. That made 38 hours in total. According to the rules, the game had a total of 73 hours. There were 35 hours left. 34 hours until their collars activated. It's already halfway over, huh? Doesn't feel that way at all, though. Reika glanced at Soichi's hand. Since their hands were linked together by the handcuffs, it was easy for her. And because of the handcuff, the two of them were always by each other's side. Just when was it that I got used to having him next to me? Distance so close that if she reached out her hand, they could easily hold in each other's own. At first, she'd been far more bewildered, but that wasn't the case anymore. They now naturally took that distance between each other. What is it? Reika locked eye with Soichi when she noticed his gaze. They were gentle and lacked the sharp edge that they had after they when they first met. I don't know. It's just things feel kind of normal when we're like this, you know. Have I gotten used to it, or has Reika gotten used to it? Probably both of them. Hold on. Maybe because it's no longer as novel an experience? Reika laughed a little. Then she looked down at the handcuff and then looked back at Soichi and smiled. I don't know about the way you put it, though. Soichi also started laughing.
じゃあ愛着が湧いたってことにしましょう。
And we'll just say that we're brimming with affection. And that's a much more reasonable expression. Two of them walked as Nagisa was walking a bit ahead of them, turned around and faced them.
ねえ、聞いてもいいかな？
Hey, can I ask you guys something? Sure, go ahead. What is it, Nagisa? Reika nodded and smiled at Nagisa's unreserved question.
宗一くんとレイカちゃんは恋人同士なの？
Are you guys a couple?
そう見えますか？
Is that how it looks? Nagisa was older than Reika, so Reika spoke politely to her. Though she wouldn't, Reika was the kind to use more polite language anyway. Though.
そうやって仲良さそうに手をつないでるし。
Yeah, I mean you're holding hands each other and all friendly like that. Nagisa pointed at Soichi and Reika's bound hands. Nagisa, you got the wrong idea. The handcuffs will tug on our wrists if we don't hold hands and hurt if we don't hold hands like this. Soichi explained himself to Nagisa, but she wasn't convinced.
でもほら、指までしっかり組み合わせてるでしょ。もう君を絶対離さないって感じがするもん。
But look, your fingers are practically wrapped around each other so tightly. It's a kind of grip that says you'll never let go of each other. Huh? It was then that when Soichi heard that, he then first noticed that his fingers were firmly wrapped around Reika's own. Crap, what the hell am I doing? Soichi frantically tried to loosen his fingers, but for some reason Reika held on tight, refusing to let go. Reika? Thanks to that, the two of their fingers were still intertwined tightly.
あとはとっても仲良しの感じがするんだ。ただのお友達の仲良しとは違う気がする。
Also, the two of you seem to get along very well. I don't mean the way that friends do.
ええ、仲良しよ。
Yes, we do get along. Reika gave Nagisa a big nod.
ああ、やっぱりそうなんだ。
I knew it. Nagisa's eyes sparkled. She seemed totally convinced that Soichi and Reika were a couple.
ね、もうキスとかしたの？手を握っただけってことはないでしょ？
Come on, tell me, have you kissed already? You haven't just been holding hands, have you? Though Nagisa always seemed like she was going at a slow pace, she was oddly excited this one moment. She leaned towards the two of them and panted frantically so hard it practically reached them. Reika, please stop with the bad jokes. You're giving Nagisa the completely wrong idea.
いいじゃない。信じてもらっても。
Who cares if what she thinks? Basically, it's okay if she thinks that. Soichi looked troubled. But on the other hand, Reika didn't look the least bit bothered. In fact, she oddly seemed to be enjoying this.
それとも私では不足？
Or what? Are you not satisfied with me? No, that's not it. No, wait, that's not what I...
じゃあいいじゃない。私は。
Then it's fine, I'm...
お楽しみのところすまないがね。
Sorry to break it up when you're having fun, but... Hazuki's face then cut in.
一応非常時だから元の速さで歩いてくれると助かるんだが。
This is an emergency, so I'd appreciate if we could walk at our normal pace. Hazuki smiled wryly. It seemed that Soichi, Reika, and Nagisa had been slowing down to talk unconsciously. Sorry. I'm so sorry, Hazuki. Soichi and Reika frankly apologized, but Hazuki was silent. Crap. Did we anger him? Soichi was worried about that, however.
だが確かにその感じだと単に事故で手錠をつないだだけには見えないな。そこはかとなくいかがわしい感じが。
Second. But it is true that the two of you don't look like you simply got handcuffed because of an accident. I don't. You're giving me sorry, let me try that again. Somehow, I got my doubts about that. Hazuki was grinning. Hazuki? Sorry. Hazuki frantically ran off at Soichi's serious look. Sheesh. Everyone's too relaxed here. But not in a bad way, however. The relief at having found more comrades after having been on their own for so long, allowed and their tension and exhaustion that had peaked was now finally beginning to abate thanks to all this. And the result was that mixture was this odd conversation. It was likely partially a form of escapism. It wasn't like they were really that low on tension. They just didn't want to think about reality. Well, it's better than looking glum. That was the conclusion Soichi came to. Let's go, Reika. Yes. Soichi then tugged Reika's hand and picked up the pace. Topic aside, it was true that slowing down was a bad thing.
だけど、私は宗一君にはぐいぐい引っ張っていってくれるタイプがいいと思うんですよ。
Yes, Sasha Gamer, I like that too. A lot of people in the situation would be like a lot of I guess VN characters would be in heavy denial of this sort of thing, but she just kind of rolls with it and takes it in stride. I like that part of her too. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, back. I think the more forceful type is good for Soichi.
そういうもんかね。
Think so?
Hazuki さんもそうですよ。
Same goes for you, Hazuki.
僕もかい。
Me too. Hazuki and Nagisa are having a lively chat in front of Soichi. Since they were just walking, his eyes naturally turned their way. Type gets dragged along, huh? Soichi smiled a bit when he heard that. Looks like I'm destined to be with that type of person.
どうしたのソイチ？ニヤニヤ笑ったりして。
What's up with you, Soichi? You're grinning like an idiot there. Reika said that as she gripped Soichi's hand a little tighter. Eventually, that eventually became a sign for the two of them that they were about to talk. Oh no, I was just wondering about how, if I really looked that unreliable. Nagisa was saying something about how I seem like the type, who should be dragged along. Soichi then gestured to Nagisa with his right hand. Nagisa was happily talking to Hazuki.
あら、それってつまり私ってそういうタイプだってことなの？
Oh, so that means I'm that kind of type? Hey, I'm not the one who said it. Soichi couldn't hide his smile when he saw the look on Reika's face. He bent his body a little and continued smiling. The shaking of his body passed through the chain, passed through the handcuffs, and the chain made a little sound like a bell.
私はこれでも弱い女のつもりだったんだけど、ぐいぐい引っ張っていくような強い女なら、お前を疑ったりするもんですか?
Despite all this, I think that I'm more the weak kind of woman. If I really were the strong type that dragged you along, I wouldn't have doubted you. She puffed her cheeks a little. Seemed she was quite displeased. But you look like you have it all together. Especially right now.
私は総一が一緒にいるからこうしていられるの。一人ぼっちで今の私ではいられないわ。
I'm like this because I have you right now. I wouldn't be able to stay like this if I were on my own right now. Reika formed a fist with her free left hand as she said that. And then pointing out her thumb and finger into the shape of a gun. She then poked Soichi's cheek with it. She then imitated a gunshot, and then cocked her index finger up like a gun would. It seemed like she was imitating the smoke that would be rising after the bullet was fired.
この手錠がなければ、私はこうしてお前を撃った女よ。本当の私はね。
If it weren't for these handcuffs, I'm the kind of person who would have shot you. That's how I am.
お前の後をおろおろとついていくのが関の山。今余裕があるように見えるのは、単にそれを認めることができたからよ。
Hold on a second. Okay, here we go. It's taking all I've got just to keep up with you. The reason I'm so calm right now is just because I managed to accept that fact. Reika explained herself calling like a teacher. But at the end, she wrapped her arm around Soichi's.
私はね、お前がいれば大丈夫だって信じてる。
See, I believe I'm okay because I have you with me. Reika.
まだ家には帰れてないけれど、それで私はいつもの私に戻れた。やっと分かったのよ。お前が以前言っていたことの意味が。
I still haven't made back home yet, but now I can return to my normal self. I now finally understand what you were trying to tell me earlier. Reika lifted the handcuffs up.
そう思えば、きっかけをくれたこの手錠に感謝したいぐらいだわ。
By thinking like that, I want to be grateful to these handcuffs for making that happen.
お前を殺し、他の誰かを殺し、その上で家に帰ったって、きっと弱い私は正気ではいられない。
I'm a weak person, so if I killed you, others, and then returned home on top of that, I'm sure I wouldn't be able to stay sane.
私が帰りたい場所に帰るためには、それではダメなのよ。
Just wanting to go back to where I came from isn't enough. She then, let go of the handcuffs, and then smiled at Soichi. At this point, the handcuffs were no longer important to Reika. She was holding Soichi's hand because she wanted to.
そして私は、そこへお前も連れて帰りたいと思ってる。それは、お前にとっては迷惑なこと。
And now I want you to survive and go home as well. Is thinking like that a burden on you? Huh?
危険だなんて言葉は聞きたくないわ。今の私にとってはそんなことはどうだっていいことだもの。
I don't want to hear all that BS about how it's dangerous or whatnot. That doesn't matter to me right now. Reika? Soichi was surprised by Reika's words. And by the hidden meaning behind them.
さあ、困ったわね、ソイチ。私を元の生活に返したいなら、お前も生き残らなくてはならない。
Well, now I've put you in the pickle, haven't I, Soichi? If you want me to return to my normal life, then you're gonna have to survive as well.
保証すれば、お前が一人だけで死んだら、私は頭がおかしくなるくらい惨めに泣き叫ぶわ。正気でいられなくなるかもしれない。
I guarantee that if you go off and die, and I'll lose my mind and cry, I might not be able to stay sane.
気をつけなさい、ソイチ。私を一人だけで帰らすようなんて甘いことを考えていたら、お前の望まない結果になるわ。
Better watch yourself, Soichi. If you think any stupid stuff about how you just want me to survive and me alone, then you won't get what you want. Soichi couldn't answer. Reika had struck Soichi at the one point that he was unwilling to move on. That alone put Soichi in great shock. How does she understand me so well? That was what surprised Soichi the most.
一緒に帰ろう、ソイチ。それだけでいいのよ。そんなに複雑な話じゃないわ。
Let's go home together, Soichi. That's all that we need. It's not all that complicated, the concept. Reika ignored Soichi's surprise, and didn't look the least bit bothered. She smiled at Soichi one more time, and filled her grip with more strength. And yes, the handcuff thing worked out quite well in the end. Especially good considering that we're seeing a side to Reika that was not in the first route or in the original Killer Queen period. So yeah, this whole setup worked out pretty well for her. For a while, nothing happened to the four of them. Thanks to that, they were safely able to make it to the 4th floor stairwell.
Ne Soichi.
Hey, Soichi. Yes? Hold on a second. Okay, yes? Reika spoke up when, wait, hold on a second. Reika spoke up when Hazuki had left the rest of the group behind to go scout out the stairwell hall up ahead.
さっきのこともあってずっと考えていたんだけど、この手錠少しおかしい気がするの。
I've been thinking about this a while, but these handcuffs seem a little strange. Hold on, sorry. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Alright, I'm just gonna take a short drink break. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm continuing now. Reika made a serious face and sorry. Reika made a serious face and touched the handcuff chain for left hand. Strange? How so?
考えてみてほしいの。この手錠って一体何のためにあるのかしら？
Think about it. Just what purpose do these handcuffs even serve? Why are they even here? Soichi looked up at the ceiling and thought a bit. Why? I don't really know, but what are you getting at? Soichi couldn't come up with anything.
私たちをここに連れ込んだ連中は私たちをルールで縛って争わせようとしている。それはなんとなくわかるわよね。
People who trapped us here are trying to bind us to the rules and make us fight each other. You get that, right? Yeah. Soichi nodded. Soichi had felt that this whole time. There were violent rules and big-scale traps. And they also found weapons from time to time. You could tell from that their intent was to make them fight and kill each other.
なのにどうしてこの手錠があるの？殺し合わせることが目的ならこんなものがある意味はどこにもないでしょ？
Why are these handcuffs here? If their goal is to make us kill each other, then there shouldn't be any reason to have something like this here. Reika explained her thoughts in order.
PDA が壊れてしまったお前にとってこれほど都合のいいものはないんじゃないかしら？
The best thing that you could have asked for since you broke your PDA, isn't it?
これがなければお前はただ死んでいくだけだったんだから。
If it weren't for these, you would have just died. That had been one part of why Reika doubted Soichi. But they wouldn't bring about the killing of each other any faster. Besides, if they weren't in a situation like Soichi and Soichi, then why would they ever handcuff themselves to begin with?
私にはこれはお前を助けるための役にしか立ってない気がするの。
If you ask me, I feel like this, the only use this has is helping you out. No way. Why do you think they did this, Reika?
きっと私たちは何かを見落としているのよ。殺し合いそのものが目的ではないんだわ。
You must be overlooking something. Maybe us killing each other itself isn't the true objective. Here's another objective?
そう。連中が私たちをここに閉じ込めたのは殺し合いをさせることが直接の目的ではないんだと思うの。
Yes, that's right. I don't believe they trapped us here specifically for the direct motive of us to kill each other.
きっと何かそれとは別の理由があるんだと思う。だからそのためにこの手錠が必要だった。
I think that they had some other reason in mind. That's why they needed these handcuffs. Yes, Ajo, romantic matchmaking is their plan. They set up this whole game just so Soichi could get over his failed love life and find someone new. Wouldn't that be quite the concept? That's the Nukige version of Secret Game. Reika then looked at Soichi.
別の見方をするなら、あの時点でお前の死が確定的では困るってことでもあるわね。
If you look at it from another way, at that point in time, your death would have been a certain problem. The extra game rule had been announced later. Which means it was also possible they might not have announced it too. If not, then it would have just ended at the handcuffs. If they add an extra game on top of that. Why would they do that if they didn't intend on letting him go back alive? Will they propose the extra game for no reason? Or was there another reason for it? That's...
そういう可能性もあるってことよ。まあ、悪質な冗談って場合もあると思うけど。
There's also that possibility. Well, I guess it could also just be a sick joke, though. A joke. A joke, huh? A joke. They were closer on the mark than they thought, but neither of them realized that.
どちらにせよ、今の私にはありがたいわ。
Either way, I'm grateful for it as I am now. As she was now, Reika wanted Soichi to make it home alive with her. That's why she felt grateful for the handcuffs and the extra game that gave Soichi a chance to live. The rules, the extra game, and the handcuffs. They were all incomprehensible to Soichi. Now that he heard Reika's points, that incomprehensibility only gained another layer to it. This is bad, guys. It was just then that Hazuki came back, his face pale. You're right. Nagasawa really is there. So after Hazuki had informed them, they looked out from a corner in the hallway. Right past there was the stairwell that was the hall for the stairwell that led up to the 4th floor. And right in front of it was a familiar boy. He's well armed too. Hazuki shivered at all the weapons Nagasawa was armed with from head to toe. Nagasawa had taken point right in front of the stairwell, with many weapons armed at the ready. He had a large knife, a crossbow, and multiple pistols. There were way more weapons than what the group had at this point in time. That boy looks kind of scary. And it was his expression that terrified them most of all. He was grinning as he looked around while wielding his many weapons. He looked like he couldn't wait to try them out. Soichi, Nagasawa's alright, then what does that mean for that man? Soichi and Reika didn't know his name, but it was Yoshimitsu Tezuka who attacked them alongside Nagasawa. He teamed up with Nagasawa temporarily back then, but didn't seem that way anymore since he was nowhere to be found. Maybe they split up again or they fought. They knew he wasn't dead, that was for sure. Otherwise it would have registered on Hazuki's PDA. I don't think Nagasawa could have gotten the drop on him, but... After being attacked by him several times, Soichi had a high evaluation of Tezuka. We probably can't reason with him, can we? Hazuki Hazuki wanted to be hopeful, but Soichi shook his head. I can't recommend that. He attacked us twice without even hearing us out. Soichi held the bandage on his right arm. The wound there was all too real. Once he saw that, Hazuki sighed deeply. Then what should we do? It's too dangerous to go on, just charge right ahead, right? Maybe we should go through the air ducts again?
君たちが通ってきたというあれか。
Oh, right. You guys said you came in through those. Hazuki's face brightened a little bit. Reika turned on her PDA and showed the
こ
map.
の近くの部屋にダクトへ通じる通風口があるみたいだわ。
Seems like there's a ventilation grate that connects to an air duct in a room near here.
よし、行ってみよう。
Alright, let's give it a shot. Alright.
はーい。
Okay. The four nodded at each other and left where they were.
これがエアダクトへの入り口か。ずいぶん高いんだな。
So this is the entrance to the air duct, huh? It's pretty high up.
登れるかどうか心配です。
I don't know if I can climb up that high. As the oldest one there, Hazuki didn't have quite as much stamina as the others. And there was Nagisa, who didn't appear all that good, athletically speaking, to begin with. Two of them looked up at the vent near the ceiling with troubled faces. It's alright. There's things here we can use as a stool. Soichi smiled at two as he pulled out wooden boxes from the corner of the room.
手伝うわ。
Let me help. Reika then started pulling boxes alongside with Soichi. Thank you.
隣で私だけ見ているのもあれでしょ。
Hey, I couldn't just stand by and do nothing. Reika already had plenty of experience of going through the air ducts. She helped Soichi pull the boxes with a smile on her face. Reika spoke again once they had the box right under the grate.
心配しなければいけないことは他にもあるわ。
There are things we have to worry about. Such as?
見て。
Look. Reika held her PD out to Soichi.
ほら、ここ。ダクトがホールを通ってるでしょ。
Right here. See how the ducts go through the hall? Yeah. The group was trying to use the ducts to get to the upper floor. Hold on a second. Alright, that was why they had to aim for the main shaft. Keep on moving. But the duct crossed right above the hall right before the main shaft.
時間的に他から回り込んでいく暇はないわ。音を出さないように気をつけていかなければならないわね。
Time-wise, we can't take any other side routes. We'll have to be careful not to make any noise. Nagisa was in the hall. Nagisa hadn't done anything when she heard them crawling around